Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced, blockbuster podcast, Coffee with Carib Carter, coming to you exclusively from where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, fill up your favorite coffee mug and join your expert and your guide, Carib Carter Clues.
Hello, and welcome to episode 56 of Coffee. Here we go. Coffee with Carib Carter. I whip my whistle there so I can do a lot of talking. Actually, today I'm going to try not to talk as much and got a couple good videos and all for you. So at any rate, I think we're going to have a great visit. We are going to have a great visit because we have with us, for one reason, we have with us a tremendous guest on our You Are There segment. You remember, You Are There is where we go talk to someone who actually lives in the countries that I want you to move to, okay? These wonderful, wonderful little countries all over Central and South America. Well, a couple of them are big. Bolivia's big, Argentina's big. Most of them are bite-sized, okay? Small. You know, I keep thinking, when I think of these countries and the size they are, I think back to when the United States was smaller and the people seemed to care for each other a lot more. I'll just say that. We didn't have the big box stores. You went to the local hardware store. You went to the local five and dime. Walmarts didn't drive everybody out. And that's how I feel about these countries. You know, I think about when I was a kid, there was a great ad. Some of you are going to remember this. Some of you are going to remember this with Volkswagen Beetle. And it just had a picture of the Volkswagen Beetle. Do you remember? And all it said under it was, think small. Well, I think small. I think, honest to God, I think small is better. I think when places get too big, people get out of touch. I mean, think of Washington. We are a big country now, and those 537 members of the House and Senate, frankly, the President of the United States, they're so far removed from the rest of us, they barely even know we exist. And frankly, a lot of times I worked with them for 40 years. I'm telling you, they wish you didn't exist, okay? I always think about the fact that most of them I know that retired never went back home. All they could talk about while they were in office, I love Wisconsin, you know. And then when they retired, Wisconsin never saw them again. But at any rate, so it's small. And so the You Are There segment goes and talks to people in these small countries. Remember, we talked to Giovanni in Nicaragua. We talked to Lisa in Honduras. We talked to Carla in Panama. And today we're going to talk to someone who lives in Belize, English-speaking Belize, who you already know. And I know you already love, because she used to have her regular own podcast on Offshore Club, on your club. And I'm going to try and get her back again, okay? Because it was a great podcast, okay? If I told you her name, you'd say, oh, yeah, I bring her back. But I'm not going to tell you her name right now. I'm going to tell you her name when I introduce her later. But you're going to love her, and I know you'll love the interview because she's absolutely delightful, okay? So we have the You Are There segment coming up. I've got an incredible $1,000 listing Caribbean. Okay, I'm going to take you to the Peruvian outback for a home. It's more like a home that's it has guest cottage and everything, so it's pretty big. It's on 2 acres, but it is in the outback, folks. Okay, this is for the you talk about off the grid. It is off the grid. You will never find me living at this place. If one of you buys it, I'll come and visit, because I think it's absolutely fascinating. But it's for rugged individualists, as Teddy Roosevelt said. And I know, look, with 100,000 members, there are at least 10,000 of you out there who are going to look at this and say, I want to check that out. I can live like that. You know, I'll tell you more about it. You'll see. I got some great pictures, and when I lay it out for you, and the price is fantastic, you're going to love this $1,000 listing Caribbean. I'm not going to do a Mad Max, but I'm going to say two things, okay? I'm going to say two things because I think they're important to you. As a matter of fact, I want to show you. I'll illustrate them for you. Let me reach for them. This is a situation in the United States today. I just got this note from this fella who is just a great, great guy. And what this is, he's saying that and when I tell you what it is, you're going to say, yeah, the same thing's happening in my neighborhood. So Matt says, I hear that the brisket sandwich at Arthur Bryant's in KC is now $17.99. That's a sandwich, folks. It's a sandwich. It's now $17.99. It was normally until recently $10.99. For God's sake. It says, I hear the establishments placed a sign on the door saying how embarrassed they are about having to charge as much for beef. And the sign also squarely blames the politicians in Washington and asks people, do something, help us do something about it. Folks, it's disgusting. It's sick. Okay, but you know it's happening. I just went shopping to the local Weiss here in York, Pennsylvania. The prices are, some of them have doubled in the last couple of months. And I know it's happened to you too. Okay, it's happened to you too. You know, here's a chart that reflects the real inflation rates. These are real. These are shadow stat inflation rates. Okay, and those are real. That's John Williams. Don't believe the bunkum the government tells you. So I said I was going to make this short. It's not a Mad Max one because here's the Happy Mac news. Okay, Happy Mac Carter news. You know what that is? See what it says at the top? I did a Carib Carter minute on this the other day, so I'm reiterating it. Okay, this is per capita income in Latin American countries. Okay, now you just go to Statista and you'll see it. Type that in. Folks, here's the point. The most expensive, and I'm talking West Caribbean now, that's where we do most of our stuff. It's where you and I look most often. Let me put it in context first. If you are on a fixed income, let's say you're retired, bring in $2,000 a month, okay? $2,000 a month, which is not much if you're on Social Security. If you work remotely from down there, you're going to find a way to come up with $2,000 a month. Okay. Those countries down there, according to this chart, the highest price is, the highest per capita is Uruguay at 15,000. Okay, you're doing 2,000. That means you have 24,000. I'd say you're going to be living pretty darn well, right? And then you go down and Costa Rica, 11,000. Peru, where we're going to talk about 6,000. So you'll be bringing in 4 times as much. Put it together. Do the math, as I said in a column I used to write. You want to escape that? How about going somewhere where if you bring in 2,000 a month and you're faced with this, folks, you're going to be begging for food soon. I passed by the York food handout place. There are 1,000 cars lined up, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, that's where we are. You go here, any of these countries, you get down to the bottom there. See Honduras, Nicaragua. I have 2 homes in Honduras. If I just brought in 2,000 a month, I'd be making better than 10 times as much as the normal per capita. I and you would be in the wealthy 1%. Don't live like this. Ta-da. When you can live like this, you can live fantastically in countries where the prices, raising prices, even inflation, is just not going to impact you that hard. You're making 10 times as much. That's a good deal. And by the way, don't forget, more good news, you can buy your home for 1/10 of what you pay up here. Uh-oh, here goes Carter again with his picture of his home. I can't help myself, folks. I can't help myself. This is my beach home. The front yard is the ocean in a guarded, gated, gardened community. That's at least in the location, folks, I'm telling you, my front yard's the beach, backyard's the swimming pool. $30,000 up here would cost at least $300 if you could find it, probably $500. Come on. This one's, I'm not going to keep showing you pictures. Here's a view from another one of the homes down there. It would cost you several million. Up here, it's like 5 bedrooms, swimming pool, everything. So that is just, that's a real picture taken from the owner's front porch. She's looking out over the ocean. She paid around 200. Up here, it would cost at least 2-3 million, maybe more. Depends upon where it's in South Beach. It would cost you 20 million. So there you go. There's my Mad Max, Happy Mac Carter a minute that I'm not going to have anyway. So let's get to straight all happy talk for the rest of the show, okay? Because that's what we love. That's what this show's all about. It's all about you finding the good life at a great price in these wonderful, wonderful little countries in Central and South America, okay? That's what the show's all about. Sun, sand, and surf. I like that, and I know you do too. So let's talk to someone who is actually there and can tell us firsthand what it's like there. We are going to talk to now in our You Are There interview. You're going to be there with her. She's in Belize. You're going to talk with our good old friend. She's young. It's old and long time. Elisa Esquivel. Okay. Elisa, some of you are saying, yeah, where's she been? Elisa, you remember, you used to have our weekly podcast, and we're going to get her started up again because I know you all like that. I got your emails and sometimes text messages. The expat mom. I think she has, 3 children, right? Those of you who recall. And she would tell us every week. Remember, she rode around in her little golf cart through the streets of Ambergris Key, the island in Belize, right off Belize. Beautiful place, incredible Caribbean island. And tell us what life was like there. Took us to the grocery store, took us down to the wharf to buy fresh fish. She's with us now, and we're going to talk to her about, we haven't seen her in a while, so let's catch up. Elisa, welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter. Alyssa, welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter. I should say welcome back. Welcome back.
I got my iced coffee this morning, too. It's warm here.
Oh, man. And let me say, first, before I say one more thing, let me say, I love your earrings. I love them. Gorgeous. Ain't they match your blouse? Wow, perfectly coordinated. And you've got that.
Sometimes.
You've got that beautiful green screen behind you. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's really where you are, in Belize.
There we go.
Oh, man. Welcome back. Thank you. It's great to see you. It is
You
great
too,
to
Carter.
See
You too.
So tell everybody loves you because I still get notes from them. Where's the expat mom? We want to see the expat mom.
The expat mom has been back in the full swing of mom, let me tell you. You know, things have shifted so much in result of everything that's happened in the world, and we are back in the full swing of the normal in some ways here. And so our kids are in soccer and gymnastics and all the things. And mom life has been a little crazy.
Well, I would say you have your priorities in order. So tell us what's going on. Folks, just remember, Elisa is in beautiful Belize, as you can see in the background. I was kidding about the green screen. And tell us what's going on in the daily life of the expat mom in beautiful Belize. What's it like now?
Now we're going to pause, Carter. Josiah? Hey, what do we talk about, guys? Face? JoJo.
Folks, this is a reality show.
This is mom life right here. Faith, it's his towel.
We put Duck Dynasty to shame.
Go get your own towel,
This is the
child.
true reality show. And I love Duck Dynasty, by the way.
They're fighting over his towel. It's his
over
towel.
What?
Anyways.
Over what are they fighting?
They're putting a towel in the sand, and they want to know which one they can use. And he's fighting because my daughter took my son's towel, and she's telling him he can't put it on the sand. And I'm like, it's his towel.
Anyway, isn't that wonderful? They're fighting over a beach towel. I wish I was there fighting over a beach towel with them. So what's it like? What's the temperature? What's the climate, everything. What's life like now for you?
Yeah, it's been so nice. The warm has returned. I mean, we don't get that much cooler than than the normal, but life on the beach has been great. We've been able to get in the water a lot more, and the kids have been fishing. We've been fishing, and sailing. My husband's been working with a group that's doing kiteboarding. So he's been out in the sandbar on the backside of the island and kiteboarding the last couple weeks, which has been an exciting new adventure for us. We haven't done that one before.
What is kiteboarding? Is that like a kite and a surfboard together? That's only that.
Yeah, imagine like a wakeboard, kind of like a wakeboard, but it's attached to a big kite. So the wind literally moves you across the water like you would with like water skiing or wakeboarding. Not as fast, as a boat, but the wind literally takes you across the water.
And how do you control where it takes you? How's it keep you from taking?
It's got like pulley things that you adjust, kind of like when you're parasailing or when you're skydiving, kind of, I guess, is the closest one. You have a big suit on you, like a skydiving suit,
Neither of which I'd like to add I've ever done.
I'm not jumping out of planes either. I feel you on that one.
But your husband is Belizean, so he is a water person, right?
He loves it. He's been driving boats since he was like 12. So they grew up in the water here and love the water. Our kids are definitely following his footsteps.
It's fantastic. Now, where you are right now, you're at your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far are you? If you just said I think I'll go down the beach, how far are you from the actual sand of the beach?
Let me see if I can turn. That's the backside of our house. Okay, so you can see the clouds. Where's my finger? There we go.
Yes.
Other hand. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So right here. Yeah. This palm tree right here, that area right there, we're about 2 blocks to the beach.
Wow. So
not far at all.
Essentially, you live every day what a lot of folks in this country get to do a week or 2 a year on vacation.
Yep. I mean, it really is like, our kids get out of school and depending if I'm home, my husband's home, my mother-in-law is here with our kids, like they go to the beach almost every day. Whether it's in the water or in the sand or playing, our front yard is literally sand. So, yeah.
So, folks, let me talk to the audience here. So, folks, what are you doing up here when you could be down there? I mean, that is.
Our internet isn't as good as in my sand yard.
You what?
My internet's not as good in the sand yard.
You know what's funny? A couple weeks ago, we have a part of Coffee with Carib Carter where I have the $1,000 listing Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had one in Dominican Republic, which was, on the beach, gorgeous and all, incredible price. And I get a YouTube post from somebody after, a couple days later saying, please do not do that again. We don't want you down here. It was like, we have enough people. Please stop sending people here. We love it the way it is. I mean, and you almost feel like that. You have really what we always say on the Offshore Club, the good life at a great price. And it's just gorgeous. It is just gorgeous.
And that's the thing, really, is it truly like, what we spent on our house here, we would have gotten, I mean, I moved from California. Where I was at in California, we have friends that have now bought, single family homes that have families. And what we bought here, for the price you bought here, we wouldn't even been able to buy a 1-bedroom apartment where I used to live. And we have a 3-bedroom house with 3 rental units below us and a huge yard, which our kids can play in.
It's incredible. I just drove by. I had to go see my accountant this morning because it is the ghastly. I know.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Tax season here, and they just rob you blind. Folks, you're paying 40 to 50% of your income now in income taxes. That doesn't count property and everything else. And down there where you are, the property taxes and income are just next to nothing, right?
Our property tax last year, I want to say, was like 150 blees, which is $75. Yeah, I don't actually know what they collect the money for. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know what you can do with $75, but but $75. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the same. There is also, I don't know. I think probably Mike has touched this on some level, or Joel, maybe one of his, but property gains taxes is totally different here too. So being able to talk about, look at some of those types of things, the difference in how far your dollar goes, especially right now with everything happening. We know everything is getting stretched everywhere, prices are going up everywhere. But you don't have the same expenses here. You just don't.
No,
for the big stuff.
Yeah. Well, Mike was on and folks, she's talking about Mike Cobb. Don't forget, every Friday, Mike Cobb's Offshore Investment Report at offshore.club. And Joel, you mentioned Joel. Every Thursday is Joel's Global Wealth Fortress Report, which are two incredible podcasts. And Mike the other day was saying, I think he was in Belize on one of his shows, and he was saying that you can get a home in a Mike Cobb community there, which is the creme de la creme. He said for a tenth of the price you pay in the U.S. A tenth of the price. Yeah, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. And what about the cost of living? I mean,
it's still, yes, the cost of living, everywhere is still in the squeeze. That's not, unfortunately it's everywhere, but the squeeze for us is different than the squeeze for the States, and so even looking like, okay, we have a family of 6 and my boys, I swear, eat like they're teenagers, even though they're not. And we spend about $200 a week on groceries, all our vegetables, fruit, all of our other stuff, rice, chicken, pasta, everything, meats, everything.
It's fantastic.
Which, we've spent time, in the States for lengths of time, and my grocery bill is not that, I will say. The States. It's a lot higher when we're in the States.
We have hit now 15 to 16% inflation here year over year at this point, and it's continuing to go up. And now that we can't buy any wheat from what used to be our major source of wheat, I'm not getting into that, but it is going to skyrocket even more. Yeah. Folks,
between gas, wheat, it's all going up. It's crazy. We've had a little bit of increase with our oil and gas also, but I see our friends post stuff about the gas prices, and I'm like, I don't even want to go on a vacation to the States. I don't even want to see family. That's so expensive. It's crazy.
My gas, we heat with gas at where I am right now, my home, and my heating bill at the home and my gas for the car have doubled in the last 4 months. Doubled. Joel the other day said, I mentioned that to Joel, and I'm lamenting, and Joel said, now when I say doubled, it went up to $163, I think. He said, Carter, mine for last month was $1,000.
No. $1,000. Oh my gosh.
And you don't have the heat bill, do you, Alyssa?
No. We have the AC bill, but not that. Yeah. No, I think our AC bill was like $150 last month.
Incredible.
But I felt bad. Our gas tank, I went to fill up our golf cart, and because we use golf carts on the island mainly, went to fill up our golf cart, and it was like $30 US, and I was shocked because it was so high. And then a friend of mine posted the same day filling up their Suburban, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, my $30 is not bad compared to your $200. Like,
no.
Maybe I shouldn't feel so bad about my $30.
No, well, I want to put this in perspective for people. I just saw a chart on Statista of cost of living, and it was every country in Latin America. And the cost of living, average cost per capita of living in Belize, I think was $5,400 a year. Okay. Now let's put that in perspective. Let's say you're on Social Security and you're bringing in $2,000 to $3,000 a month. My God. Yeah, you can live pretty well on that.
Mhm.
So your annual income is 4 to 5 times what everybody around you is, which
Well,
is
I mean, keep in mind too, like we live on an island. So we live in a more expensive place than a lot of places in the country simply
yeah,
because we live on an island, so everything has to get shipped in, right? So when I give you those even number, like when I shared those numbers, even recognize that's one of the more expensive places to live in the whole country, right? Like outside of, I mean, we have friends live in Cayo on the western side in the jungles in Belize, and we have friends that live down south in PG, and our friends in PG have like 25 acres, and they have a sustainable farm and all sorts of stuff, right? And I think their property tax, same thing. It's like $250
a
a year.
year,
So
a
a
year.
year, yeah.
And
And they have 25 acres. Like, so keep in mind when I say those numbers. So we're on an expensive place
it's
for the
just, it
island.
is, yeah, it is. It's funny you mentioned the island. Years ago, I guess it was maybe 10 years ago now, I lived on Roatan Island for a while and had a good friend there, Dan Taylor. He built Keyhole Bay. And one day I was lamenting I couldn't find something. And Dan said, Carter, this is an island. If you didn't bring it, it's not here.
Although, man, it's changed so much. We have friends that just moved to Roatan actually from here,
Right.
because she married a guy, or she's involved with a guy that's from Honduras, and so they moved back so they can be closer to his family. And she sent a bunch of photos the other day, and they're at this little coffee shop in like downtown Roatan, not in West Bay. It was like closer to her house, and she was eating like a caprese salad and like fresh seafood, all this stuff. And she showed me her bill, and it was like $15 for the whole thing. Like they had this whole spread.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even in places like Roatan, that you've been there, it's beautiful.
Oh.
A lot of the islands, it's just not the same increase that we're seeing other places.
It's built up a lot. Matter of fact, back when I was there, the on West Bay, West End, the street was still sand. Now I know they have it's paved now. And but the funny thing about Roatan, folks, Roatan Island is one of the 3 Bay Islands of Honduras, because a lot of people don't know that, which is understandable.
That's true.
But I don't think I ever saw a Honduran on Roatan Island. It's all Canadians and Americans, and believe it or not, a lot of Italians, because there's a direct flight from Milan to Roatan. Now, who came up with that?
Someone smart.
Someone smart.
Someone smart who could foresee that people wanted to take a vacation and they wanted to live somewhere tropical.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned earlier on, and I know we're closing on the end here, but you mentioned you had fish, or you just bought some fish or something. But that's you didn't go to the frozen food counter at Giant to buy that fish, did you?
No, we did not. No, it's been really great actually, because my husband is a tour guide also, as a side kind of thing he does, and he's had lots of fishing trips recently, so we've been eating lots of seafood recently.
Wow.
Conch, which for those of you most of you probably that have not been in a tropical place will not know what a conch is, but it's a shellfish creature, I guess the easiest way to describe it. But ceviche is really common here also. If you have not got a chance to check out some of our past ones, I actually made ceviche with my husband with some fresh caught barracuda that he had caught on one of his trips. And yeah, seafood is plentiful and it's easy to access, which has been really great.
It's fantastic. And you can go right down to the wharf and buy the day's catch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, most of the time, especially because we live here, we just go get it ourselves, because we can go out like I'll have to send you a video one of these days, Carter. My husband took out our 4-year-old and he was out fishing with some friends, and our 4-year-old was in the boat with him, and he kept, he was letting our 4-year-old like toss out the hand line, which is really just a spool of line. It's nothing with a hook attached. Okay.
Right.
So he's thinking like, oh, he's just tossing out. He's having fun. He's a 4-year-old, right? Like he's just having fun. But he kept saying, Daddy, there's a fish. Daddy, there's a fish. And my husband was like, no, there is not. You have no idea what that, like, no, you do not know. And he's turned around talking to our friend of ours in the boat. And my son is behind him. Now I can't put my phone down. Otherwise, I wish I could show you this. But he turns around and my son is hand over hand pulling in a barracuda. Like half the size of him. Just hand over hand pulling it in like, fine, I know there's a fish in the line. I'm going to pull it in. Yeah, he caught 4 that day.
Now, can you eat barracuda?
Oh, yeah. It's great, actually. It's great meat. Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
We do it a lot in ceviche is what we mainly do it in. But you can cook it like a barracuda steak. You can do too. That's really good.
Okay, now you have us all envious. Tremendously envious. So I want you.
Well, you just have to come visit then.
That's what I was going to say. What would you say to folks up here who are looking at everything is so beautiful behind you and hearing the lifestyle? What would you say to them in closing here? What's your advice to the folks up here?
I think come and test it out. Really, you know, if you're not one of those people that's like, let me jump in 2 feet and let me go for it fully, and you've got hesitancy, come and check it out. We have a lot of people that will come for 6 months, and then they decide, yes, I want to stay here, and they stay here forever and ever, you know. Or people that come down and they come for 6 months and say, you know what, the island life really isn't for me. And the next year they try the mainland and they live there, or they try Roatan, or they try Nicaragua, or they try El Salvador. Like there's tons of locations that are accessible and are affordable for expats, especially. And I think realizing too, like you don't have to be. I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll do it when I'm retired, right? Like when I want to I'll make that move when it's just a different stage of life, right? And I mean, I did it as a single person actually, but I ended up, you know, marrying my husband who's here. He's local, but we're raising a family, obviously. I don't know if you can see my kids are down there in the yard. My kids are down in our yard making lots of noise today. But, you know, same thing. Mike has great experience of that. He raised his girls in Nicaragua. Right. And I think sometimes people think like is it going to be the same quality of life, right? And to recognize like his girls were in Girl Scouts, my daughter's in gymnastics, my son's taking soccer, my other son is getting ready to do drum lessons and has done martial arts, and you know they're in great schools, and there's lots of opportunities. So I think to think that it's not going to be the same thing, or to not think you're not going to get the same quality of life for your kids, especially, it's just not really true, honestly.
It's fantastic. Matter of fact, I'm going to just say, folks, you're going to get a better quality of life. It's just a fact of the matter. Alyssa, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming back and chatting with us. Do occasionally give us an expat mom podcast. Like maybe
I'm hoping
once
we can do it a lot more.
Yeah, we miss you riding around in your little golf cart. That was my favorite.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Hopefully the next time I see you, Carter, we're giving you guys a little bit of sneak peeks into a friend of ours who's actually doing a flip here. That's my next hope, is to kind of get some sneak peeks in that. They're expats moved down here with the family as well from Canada, and they are flipping a house on the beachfront, start to finish, and putting a whole new apartment down below. So that's my next move. My daughter wanted to say hi really quick.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Thank you, Elisa. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Take care. There you got it, folks. Fantastic. What a wonderful person. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's some people you just like. You know what I'm saying? And that is Alyssa. As I said before, when I was introducing her, what a delightful person, and what a great story. And it's a story you can share. Okay. There's plenty of room down there at Ambergris Key or on the mainland. I've spent time on the mainland of Belize, and it is lovely. It is lovely, and the people are wonderful. Check out Belize, but also check out where we're going to go now. We are going to our $1,000 listing Caribbean. One of my favorite segments of the show. Okay. You know, I love this $1,000 listing Caribbean. We're going to Peru, and I swear to God, we're really going to the outback. Here's the listing in Vivian, okay? There's the listing in Vivian, all right? I'm going to tell you the same thing I always tell you. Check out see the number there hold on. Let me get it right. There. That is the number you go and type in a little box in the upper right-hand corner. Then you click, and it's going to take you to this listing because I want you to check it out for yourself, okay? All right, the number 279-518. 279-518. That is the number of your future happiness right there. If you are a rugged individualist. Why do I say that? Okay, let me read you the description, okay? Okay, riverfront, off-grid Amazon Rainforest Lodge. Puts in dash there, no annual taxes. That's a blessing. Featuring this newly motivated Amazon Rainforest Tourist Lodge. It's a tourist lodge situating off the grid on 1 hectare. I checked on that for you, folks. That's about 2 acres. Luscious riverside land. It's right on the river. I'm telling you, this is, I'm going to show it to you so you'll know what I'm talking about while I'm reading this stuff to you. Look at this. Folks, it's on the river. It is on the river, okay? It's not near the river. It's on the river, okay? Lies at the end of a quaint village and near the city, only about 2 miles, or 10 miles, I'm sorry, from the town of Iquitos, okay? All right? Now, I'm going to show you Iquitos and all that in a second, so bear with me. First, let me describe the place to you. Bunkhouse with 4 private rooms, a restaurant, kitchen, and a bar and a grill. Appliances included, cooking ranges, refrigerators, and works. Bathrooms are equipped with a shower, toilet, wash basin, sink. Plumbed water means that's plumbing. I looked it up. That's what that means. Electricity provided via solar-powered system. I'll show you that in a second. It sleeps a capacity of 16 people, okay? So you can be a loner and rough it there all your own, or you can invite everyone you know, okay, to hang out with you. Reception office with the manager, sleeping arrangements. Let's take a look at it, okay? Let's take a look. First, let me show you Peru. Some of you who, okay, see where Peru is there? There's the U.S. is going to be up north. And there's Peru with the blue arrow, not the red circle. That was when we went over there to Dominican Republic last week. There's the blue circle where Peru is, okay? Now, I said it's near, I like to take the long view. I used to do movies and infomercials and all, and they had the establishing shot, the long shot, medium, close-up. That's the sequence. And if you watch the movies, you're going to see that. So here's the long shot. Remember I said it was near the city of Iquitos, okay? There is Iquitos. That's about 400,000 people, okay? It's about 10 miles. Now, let me add, you can only get to Iquitos. It's one of the few cities in the world you can only get to by plane or boat. But it's a thriving city. I mean, it's got everything. Gorgeous stores, restaurants, everything. Great life for people who live there. Very peaceful, very safe, very secure, obviously on the water, since you can only get there by water or airplane. But so the place that you're going to buy, if you are a rugged individual, it's about 10 miles from there. So here it is. This is your lodge. Sleep 16 people. Okay. All right. Or if you're Robinson Crusoe, you can live there alone. It's up to you. Here's the, I think this is probably one of the restaurant areas. Okay. All right. Now, folks, this is nothing fancy. This is fairly primitive. Okay. So, like I said, there's a select number of people. It's 4. But if it is for you, it is the one for you. Dining area. Okay. Dining area. Again, looking out over the beautiful rainforest. It's in the Amazon and the river. Here's the owner here. Okay. That's probably what he caught to eat on that table you just saw. All right. I think that is the owner who you need to get in contact. His phone number's on the page, on the Vivian page. It's Jungle Harry. You can just call, hey, Jungle, or Harry, whatever you want to call him. I want to talk about this place. So that's who you're going to be talking to. The bedroom, everything you need. Look at that. The views out the window are fantastic. All right. All right. Again, nothing lavish, but if you're an off the gridder, you ain't looking for lavish. He talked about the kitchen, the freezer, all that. All right. Everything you need, everything in good working order, everything comes with it. You don't have to run out and buy anything and figure, geez, I got to load it on the boat and paddle in. No. And here is this off the grid electricity, solar. See that? I made it a point on this picture. See that stuff right? Let me show right there. Okay. So the electricity is solar powered electricity. Now look, let me tell you, for Carib Carter, this would be like, oh my God, how am I going to survive? I am not Robinson Crusoe, whatever. But I have a friend down the street, my friend Steve, who did a lot of the work on my home here. He has solar panels he's put up himself all over the place that he's lighting his house by now. When he first started, I swear to God, I thought, he came and told me, I'm putting up these solar panels. I said, wow, it's great, Steve. And I thought to myself, there is no way. I'm just going to tell you the honest to God truth. This was about a year ago. But now I go down there and the air conditioner is plugged into his solar electricity now. Saving a lot of money since, thanks to the current regime in Washington, my utility bills have doubled. I wish he had stuck a couple of those solar panels on my roof. Okay, he feeds them in the batteries, everything like you just saw there. So someone like Steve, this is perfect. He would love it. Someone like our super producer, Gary. Gary can do everything. He does my electricity, my plumbing. He just fixed my car, everything for him. And he is a master angler, fisherman. Well, he'd be like old Jungle Harry there, right? Reeling in those babies. I don't even know what that is, but looks like it might taste good. So, folks, that's the whole point. This is, if you are a outdoorsman, rugged individualist, anything of the sort, maybe just a loner, okay? Maybe you're totally fed up with civilization. Check this one out. See the number again. Okay, see the number again, 279-518. Type it in, click go. It's going to take you there, and then you can make up your own mind to go there. It's pretty fantastic. At least talk to Jungle Harry. See what you think. The price, did you notice the price? I love this. $72,000 for all of that. The 2 acres of land would be worth that, let alone the lodge, or the lodge, let alone the 2 acres. 72, and it says USD parentheses, one of my favorite words, negotiable. So you say, yeah, tell you what, Jungle Harry, I'll give you 60. He's going to say, oh, second 60, I'll lose 12,000. And say, well, if you don't take my 60, you're going to lose 60,000. So it's a pretty good deal. Try it. What do you got to lose? Especially if you are the outdoors type. So there you have it. Okay. Most of the time I'm showing you places like, mine at the residential resort, or another one I have in Honduras, which is in a lovely community. Okay. 3 bedrooms, huge yards, front and back, fruit trees, the works. 30,000. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to buy one in Nicaragua soon. Okay. Because it's just fantastic. So if you're somebody saying, Carter, I'm kind of like you, I want all the amenities. Well, go to LaSabaBeachClub.com, where I have my home. Look at these homes there, also at LaSaba Beach Club. See there? Yeah, gorgeous places. And these homes, 100, 125, 150, negotiate on them. It's a pretty good deal. You'd pay 10 times as much in the U.S., 10 times as much. So it's all right there. Just choose what you want. You can have your income, if it's $2,000 a month, means you'll be making 10 times as much as the people live there, and you'll be paying 1/10 as much for a gorgeous resort home, Grand Pacifica, grandpacifica.com in Nicaragua. That is the finest residential resort community in the entire Central or South America. It's a Mike Cobb community. Okay, so you know it's well built with all the amenities. And what we talked to him the other day, and he said you can get one for 130, 40, 50,000, right? That would cost you, within walking distance of the beach, would cost you, again, 10 times as much in the U.S. Now's the time to do this. Live the good life at a great price. Don't put up with all this crapola that I just showed you earlier. I'm not going to go back to it. When you can live that life down there. The sun, sand, and surf is beckoning. Okay. Belize, Elisa is down there at grahambayman.com. Another Mike Cobb community. Again, all the amenities. $100,000 gets you a gorgeous place to live in, right on the beach. Right on the beach. So there you have it. There you go. Graham Bayman. Everything is there for you, folks. That's what we do. That's what we do at your Offshore Club. We bring it all together for you so that you can enjoy it to the max while paying the minimum. Okay? Enjoy it to the maximum while paying the minimum. That's what this is all about. That's what this move offshore is all about. That's why I already own 2 homes down there, considering a 3rd in Honduras, to be honest with you, and buying in Nicaragua. Now's the time to do it. It's still a buyer's market, but the outmigration from this country to Central and South America, I see it more every day because I get all your letters, your emails, your text messages, occasionally phone calls. So do it, folks. Do it. Do it. To help you do it, I'm going to give you a favorite motivational moment, okay? A favorite motivational moment. It's a video, okay? I'm going to show you a video. It's only 1 minute and 10 seconds, okay? And I'm going to tell you right up front, it's an ad, not for me, okay? I'm not a realtor. I don't sell homes. I just try and help you find one you want and buy it for yourself, okay? I don't make a thing off of it. That's not, what I do is what I love, is what I'm doing right now. Thank God I can do that, okay? Thank God I can do that. But this is an ad for definitely some travel company or something, but it's 1 minute and 10 seconds, and it's all about the Caribbean. I want you to look at it, look and listen to what it says, okay? Look at these pictures. Listen to the description, okay? Because everything the guy doing the voiceover says is absolutely true and can be you, okay? And then I'll be right back. Let's roll it, Gary.
So beautiful and romantic, so mysterious and exotic, so enchanting and alluring. No other place in the world captures the imagination more than the Caribbean islands. It's a place where every day outdoes the next, where everything seems to shine a little brighter and life comes a little easier. It's a place where worries disappear into sunsets that defy description. And finally, it's a place where the allure of its crystalline waters frees the spirit. People the world over call it paradise. We call it home.
Okay. Now that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That was 1 minute and 10 seconds in paradise. And it's all there for you. And I want you to focus on the last thing he said, that for some it's visiting, for us it's home. Folks, every country that I talk to you about, Central and South America, whether it's Belize way up here, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Paraguay, Uruguay, Peru, all of those countries, they have the same beauty, the same winsome attractions, the gorgeous foliage, the wildlife, the friendly people, the good life at a great price, as you just saw in that ad. It's all true. It's all true. And what's most important is, for a fraction of the cost that you think is possible right now, it can all be yours, and you can call that home. So, as I always tell you, let's do this thing.